Recent year, Lauren Jauregui had to reopen her loving of piece of music. As a term of the U.S. Lady Team 5 balance, she'd sold out millions of accounting records and scored world traffic in the fitting R&B of Cost It and Job of Household. But the gang were burned of, constrained in a Punisher job plan and record songs they didn't trust in. Thou re not vision yours household, yours friends. Thou re not making whatever for oneself. It was sad, depleting and sorrowful. All 5 members include with liberated recital content, in Jauregui's brutal yet vulnerable consumer expectations amongst the top of the bundle, demonstrating the 22-year-old's fellow vote versus a easy guitar riff. But she just controlled to recording it following a disconcerting and morbid time in the melodic desert. I had been spurred a psyche thought of which success piece of music voiced love, so I had the ego conception of which I mind was nice for me, commercially. The position became so bad how the artist stopped written, and though auditory to, piece of music. Later, as quickly as the team diluted and we begun to go our individual ways, it purified a lot of blockages of my cardiac, she says. I begun receive behind in piece of music how I in fact favorite. She delved in the albums how encouraged her as a adolescent, the miseducation of Lauren Mound, Amy Winehouse's Behind Too Dark, songs in A Insignificant by Alicia Keys, and began to drawing out her own audio. Recent year was excellent, challenging in the feeling of stunning off all the things how weren't me any more than and enabling myself to go via how. I was love, do you aware which? I include to drag behind. I love more than natural sensing things, I love dwell tool, I love written lyric how go direct of the cardiac. One of the at first songs she wrote in How Box of Reason was Consumer Expectations, that rapidly set himself as the ultimate opening solitary. I went on round in Halsey, and How was one of the songs I had in my set list. While I sing it for the at first period in Sao Paulo, it was fully unreleased yet by the end of the chant they were sing the speech behind to me. British isn't there at first tongue in Brazil, so I was floored by the answer. How's why I chose it. Jauregui begun 2019 by Next Consumer Expectations, up in more than rather than how, a daring, energetic dismantling of a imitator boyfriend. Thou gondola include to go much stronger rather than the drink/won't get me household, superior be more than compelling/it'll get more than rather than how to get to me, she sings above a slippery pitfall hit. Forging household her messages of female force and personality worth, Jauregui recreates Botticelli's portrait 15th age art, the childbirth of Venus in the art. It's on take how type of rap live video image and authorizing the female who do the job, she explains. They're stripper, but every female's ghost is seized in a way how's revering her force and her sensibility. Possessing dreamt up the live video conception and throw the model, Jauregui found herself in awe of their athleticism. It was wonderful. The quantity of several hours they were making these engineering and rotating and thread the polar. Thou do believe they'd be all greased up, but they include to be fully dried, in mel on their hands, so they can do their job. I was thankful we could seize how and very allocate them. They're the centerpiece of the live video for me. And did she choose up any tips? All tips, she laughs cordially. So, yes, fair by observer them. The way they utilized their bodies is so mesmerizing. Jauregui, who was unborn in Miami to from Cuba parents, came out as androgynous in a strong kernel for Poster Ammunition Depot in 2016, that she wrote as an irate answer to Donald Trump cards poll win. 2 year in Trump cards chairmanship, she's yet irritated, each day thing clueless comes out of his jaw, but established to rotate her wrath in thing more than favorable. We're all proper aware of how brutal the loath rhetorics are, and how devastating they are to humanists, but instead of a fair trashing which's departure on, that I did for a time, I've displaced my attention in a more than efficient power, of how can I persuade human beings to get along and lift every sum. External of her piece of music, she's leveraged her 10 millionth public print followers to campaigning for gun reformation and LGBT rights, and partnered in Pardon World's Compose for Rights campaigning, hopeful human beings to pin by the government officials in supporting of women human rights activists who discover themselves in risk. Was she alerted versus manufacturing policy statements while she was in 5 balance? Of year human beings informed me versus it, she says. While thou work in any production how has to do in manufacturing human beings love thou, their departure to counsel you versus proverb things how would rotate nobody away yet I fair occur to include a really strong vote. I articulate myself so while I compose and while I say, so if God gave me how force, I include to use it. How's fair who I am? I'm a deep emotion philosopher, so a lot of my piece of music is reflecting of upcoming of age and conclusion oneself and cleaning out the mess in yours cardiac. Yet I believe how's okay. I wish to be who is on loving and adoption, no question wherever you go of, no question how you see, no question which yours history is. I wish you to sense favorite and heard and seen, via my piece of music and via my power.